When I first started making music, I wasn't talking about shooting nobody. I wasn't talking about robbing people. I wasn't talking about stabbing nobody. Granted, I was experiencing some street shit at this point, but I wasn't talking about it. Literally, I was talking about how depressed I was. I wanted to fucking murk myself and all this crazy fucking weird shit that you have those feelings at the time when you're a fucking teenager and you lose like two of your best homies to suicide back to back. Yeah, you're gonna be rapping about that shit. But when you're fucking 14 and you're rapping about having sticks, blicks, and bitches and all this shit, and you ain't even experienced being hungry for a day, you haven't even experienced running from the cops, getting kicked out the crib by your moms and shit like that, that's bruh.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast with your boy Big Cerbavelli back in the place to be. La Merca Superior Palace 81 Studios. Live in effect, live and direct. It's your boy, Mr. Nine Times. Over the fucking weekend, I didn't do shit. I'm glad I didn't do shit. I'm playing Borderlands 1. I don't know if I talked about that before, but basically Borderlands 1 is not even like 1 or 2 or 3. It's like in its own thing. The guns are more realistic, as the homie NC said. And that's dope, man. I love the clickety-clack of the shotguns instead of like all the laser guns and shit that are in the second and third one. They're like a lot more realistic. And I feel like they moved away from that because they don't want to be criticized by the media or kind of have their own lane, you know, because it feels a lot better to shoot aliens in the fucking face that you have no idea that these creatures are made up than a fucking person, you know what I mean? Or a soldier, you know what I mean? Call of Duty, I feel like that's the reason why Call of Duty gave me anxiety, because it was like, it felt fucking like too real. But Borderlands 1 is kind of like in this, it feels kind of real, kind of doesn't. So it's more realistic than the other Borderlands games, but then at the same time, it's a little bit more unrealistic in a realistic way or something like that. So I just chilled, man. I didn't really do shit. Like yesterday, I really didn't do shit. So I was like really cool with that. You know what I mean? I'm glad. Like my pop, like we woke up, we went to the gun store, and my pop, he wanted to take his 45. We haven't shot it. He wanted to take the 45 and go shoot it and all that. I said, yo, you could go without me, bro, because I'm not with that. I really don't want to do shit. Like, I literally feel myself being burnt out of all the shit that I do. And it's so weird. Like, I find myself being tired all the time, even though I'm getting around like 7-8 hours of sleep. You know, bare minimum you should be getting is like 7 hours of sleep. 8 hours is like the golden ticket. But then, if you didn't know, Dick Gregory said, one of the greatest comedian activists, authors of all time, he said that you sleep 8 hours, you go to work 8 hours, so how many hours of the day do you have? 8 hours. You haven't combed your hair, you haven't brushed your teeth, all this crazy sophisticated, like you could leave it up to Dick Gregory to figure the fucking world out that you have it and put it in a way where you're like, oh, maybe the shit that I'm doing is not very like what's best for my mind and my health and all that shit. So yesterday, really didn't do shit, just play Borderlands, and I was just looking up. It felt like the old school days, man, where I just didn't have no responsibilities, or I was just at school and I was just looking up tips and tricks, you know, to level up and all that, get guns in the game. It was really tight. That's pretty much the extent of how light this podcast is going to be. I didn't even really intentionally for this podcast cast should be heavy, but you know, I'm here for the controversial topics, man. So let's just get all the easy shit out of the way. GTA 6 is out. The trailer is out. Not the game, but the trailer is out finally. People have been moaning and bitching about this shit for years now. Basically, it's going to come out in 2025. Either what I think, for just looking at all the GTA releases, what I think is gonna happen, I think it's gonna come out like spring, like late, maybe spring 2025, maybe April, May, something like that. Or if push comes to shove, it'll come out like the fall, either, you know, like how GTA 5, it came out, I want to say in the middle of September. It's probably gonna come out around the same time or October. Most GTA releases have come out in October. So hopefully it comes out in the spring. Push comes to shove, is gonna come out, you know, in the fall, which is totally cool with me. I'm down to wait. I'm totally not ready to buy a PS5. I'm so busy buying guns and other shit and just, you know, trying to be more responsible with my money. You know, I'm ignoring, like, I'm really holding the urge to just splurge and spend my money, because everything is on sale right now, and I'm like my grandma, I can't pass up a good sale, but that don't mean you should just fucking spend all your money. So that's what I'm on, just trying to save as much money as I can for a rainy day and not go haywire with it. I've already got my presents out of the way. The only person I'm missing is really my dog, and everybody else is extras after that, you know what I mean? I don't plan on giving nobody else a present, you know what I mean? Especially because money's tight, you know what I mean? Things popped up in my life, and I really don't have shit to give to anybody else in my family besides a good hug and a fucking solitude and solidarity, you know what I mean? I feel like one of the things that Christmas got people fucked up on, like, you have to get them a gift every Christmas. Like, why can't you just year around be like a good person and give people the gift of like your good time, respect, and just solidarity, you know what I mean? Why does like all the holidays is all connected to some sort of capital at the end of the day, which I think is bullshit. Just going back to this GTA 6 thing real quick, man. The game looks phenomenal. It looks like somewhere between Far Cry 6, Red Dead 2, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I was gonna say GTA 5, but nah. It looks like more like a cross between Red Dead 2 and Far Cry 6. It looks almost too real in some cases. The storyline looks great. It looks like a Bonnie and Clyde type thing going on with the protagonists. They're going in territories like GTA 5. A lot of people praised it because you were everywhere. You were in the mountains, you were in the desert, you were in the city, you were in the beach. So I feel like GTA 6 is going to take this shit to a whole new level. What it looks like is you got the swamp with the fucking white people. You have the beach with all the younger kids. You have the city. You have the criminal aspects. It looks very dense, which is, I don't know how much of this is actually going to be pertaining to the actual gameplay and storyline. I think the only scenes where it's like the chick, she's in jail, and then it's her and her boyfriend robbing what looks like a liquor store. What I think that is I think that's either her, how she got in the prison, or coming out of prison. That's like one of the first licks you do with the boyfriend or whatever. But honestly, man, I did this with Far Cry 6. I chose to be the chick, not because I mean, there's people who play games to be the chicks. I don't know why. I think that's fucking weird. But me personally, I want to see how the storyline is with females, because most of the games I played are all male characters. I can name counting on my hand how many female protagonists I played. You have Flint and Hawk from Brute Force. You have Maya, Lilith, and I forgot that chick's name from Borderlands. All the Borderlands games. You have Danny from Far Cry 6. And that's it. That's all I know of. I mean, Tomb Raider, I never played Tomb Raider. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just I wanna I want a good story that'll hook me in playing a female, because like being a dude playing fucking dudes, all machismo motherfuckers and all that shit, it gets boring, you know what I mean? So I really do want to see how they do it with GTA 6, especially because Far Cry 6 and like all like the Borderlands games, the story's not tailor made to a female protagonist. It's just like they made lines to fill in the storyline, versus GTA 6, it's gonna be a whole storyline pertaining to a female and male protagonist, which I want to play the female. They're probably gonna do it like GTA 5, where it's interchangeable. Like you're gonna have to play as the male in some missions and then the female in other missions. So I'm hyped as fuck with this shit. GTA 6 is definitely like, you gotta think. I think from GTA 3 to 4, I want to say it was like 5 years. From GTA 4 to 5, it was 5 years. It's going to be, if they launch it in 2025, which I think they're going to do, it's going to be 12 years, guys, that they worked on this fucking game. Now, granted, games that came in between, was Watch Dogs a Rockstar game? Rockstar Games. Let me see, because I don't know. I know there's certain divisions, like certain developers, they do certain projects, right? So like Rockstar San Diego, they did Red Dead Revolver, Rockstar Video Games. Was the fucking Subway Surfer? That wasn't a Rockstar game, was it? I feel like this mic is like, it keeps bouncing back. I want it close to the face. Pause. All games, Rockstar Games. In order though. I don't want it. Bro, they already have the home screen is GTA 6. That shit looks fire. Okay. So we had Red Dead Redemption 2 2018. Online doesn't count. Red Dead Redemption, I want to say, came out in 2010. Undead Nightmare came out like 2011, 2012, something like that. Max Payne 3 came out like in 2010 or some shit. Episodes from Liberty City came out like 2010, some shit. So yeah, they did a few games in between GTA 5 and GTA 6. So you can't really fault them. Like, bro, we got pretty much 2 solid games in between 5 and 6. Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, which is crazy. It took them 8 years from 1 and 2. And 2 was a crazy, phenomenal game. Like that was the talk of the town. The fucking GTA 6 gonna be talk of the century, bro. Trust me. I don't want to harbor much on this, but I'm very excited. Hopefully, we see some of the GTA 5 characters in 6. Hopefully, Nico. The way 5 ends, it kind of like conclude. If you chose the Death Wish ending, it kind of squares it away, because that's another thing with 5. It's like, depending on the ending, we really got to see, like, it's just like 4, like you pick the ending, and I want to say 6 is probably going to be the same, where it's like, you know, does the female have to kill the male in the end, or whatever it is. Like, I'm already thinking of like the endings and all this shit. So that just lets you know they did a good job of keeping up with the anticipation of the game, because I stopped playing Grand Theft Auto 5 a long time ago. I played it at least once or twice on my 360 when it came out. Then I stopped and I started playing Borderlands 2. Then when I got my PS4, I played it again and I beat the whole game again. This was probably like around 2019, 2020. And I probably haven't played the game since then. Like, literally, like, actively, you know, doing shit in like 3 fucking years. So, or 4 almost. So I'm really excited, man. And then in between time, I played Red Dead 1 and 2. So it's just, I like that. I don't want to wait all this time for a game that is like lackluster. Borderlands 3 halfway was that. Borderlands 3 is a game I can't even enjoy on my PS4 because like it was super buggy when it came out for one. And number two, you can't even run it because it's so fucking slow and you need like that high speed, whatever, high speed console to handle all the fucking the gameplay and all that. You know, what else was I gonna talk about? Oh, Maywood. All right. So by the time you watch this, I'm probably already gonna do the show already. But Saturday, December 16th, I'm gonna be, or I would have already been performed in Maywood again for the Righteous Fest. It's like a Mota festival. They got all kinds of fucking herbalescent remedies over there, and they got a taqueria, and they have candies, and it's just a cool time. You know what I mean? My uncle said they was gonna pull up, so I'm with it, man. I'm excited. I got a whole new set. It's not the set I had before. Like I had an old Greenlight 3 set, but now I want to switch it up. It's songs that I've been working on recently, like literally new material, so I have to get all my new material down. So I'm definitely gonna be practicing for that. I'm really excited, man. Shout out to Abe the Freak. Shout out to homies DTO, Destiny taking over. They really, you know what I mean? I don't, when it comes to like supporting homies and shit, I kind of don't support homies as much as I do like Chicano Syndicate or DTO because I really support the Raza movement that I know is out here supporting the Raza and putting on, you know what I mean? I've talked about this before where I feel like we need to stick together. We need all of our brothers and sisters to be coming out and supporting one another because I feel like like they say a Mexican's worst enemy is another Mexican. Well, I feel like a Mexican's best friend is another Mexican because a lot of rappers and other artists are like on some soloist type deals where they just don't rock with nobody. They rock with themselves. Like a lot of the game is selfish and it's a lot of playing for keeps out there versus me. I kind of want to, like, I don't look at it as if I help you, that's hindering me. Like I'm the only one who has to be getting support. You know what I mean? I look at it like the more I can help you, the more you can help me. And I feel like the more we have that mentality out here, the better we're going to help each other. Not just Mexicans, other people, other races, especially other like genre, like cross genres. Like let's say we could have like a rap / banda show, a banda / punk show, something like that, you know what I mean, where we could bridge peoples and bring everybody together. Granted, I know that's a fucking stone's throw away, or is that, wait, is a stone's throw far? Is it short or far? Granted, that's a Hail Mary, but it's just kind of like, that's where I'm thinking, that's where my mind is at. And if your mind is not on that, then I already know that, and I want to be away from you. Like people don't even know how much I see through a lot of people, and you got to, man. You got to be in this game, man. You really got to be like fucking X-ray eyes and shit. Like who has X-ray eyes in X-Men? Who can see through shit? I don't fucking know, but my whole point is like we got to help each other, and that's the bottom line. I'm gonna do this show on December 16th. I'm gonna fucking burn it down. We got Divine Flows, we got Net Ponder, I think we got the homie Ro. We got a grip of fools that are gonna pop out, and I'm gonna demolish it. It's one of those fucking, who is this mommy right here? What? Damn, Olivia on the Rolling Stones cover just popped up on my shit. That's right. I wish I could whistle, but like I can't even whistle. I wish I could whistle like my dad. My dad could fucking he could fucking summon a dragon with his whistles and shit. But what was I saying? I don't know. It's gonna be popping though. Sue Surf was sentenced to 5 years, a mandatory 5 years in prison after previously pleading guilty to racketeer influence and corrupt organizations, aka the RICO conspiracy charges. He faced up to 30 years in prison as part of charges connected to his membership in the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips street gang. However, by pleading guilty to conspiracy and a possession of firearms and ammunition by a convicted felon, and thus avoiding a trial and potentially harsher sentence, a U.S. district judge sentenced Sue Surf to 5 years in federal prison. Okay. Surf was one of the 10 members of the Rolling 60s to face federal charges accusing the street gang of acts of violence and distributing controlled substances in New Jersey and beyond. Surf himself allegedly held a leadership position and in 2017 shot a rival gang member. Wow, allegedly. I don't know how true this is. 2 years later, he was found in possession of 2 loaded firearms. Well, great. How I feel about it is this is like the third time Surf is going in. Like people would when Surf would battle, that would be a big thing people would give him shit for, because like when he battled Conceited, he was facing time, but then he got out. I don't know the whole logistics of that. Then, like it said in 2017, he went back. He was facing another potential whatever, and I think he ended up beating that. He beat like 2 federal cases, federal prison sentences already, potential prison sentences, and what is it? Sue Surf will never come to town on the battle rap scene with his 2022 album Disparu, released shortly after his arrest. Jim Jones, Remy Mars on the album. Let's see. Okay, so maybe I gotta listen, because Sue Surf makes great music, but this time it looked like when they got him and when they were the whole information came out, he's facing 30 years, people were like jumping out the window like Surf ain't gonna come out. When Surf comes out, battle rap is gonna be dead already. And Surf has to be like in his mid 30s. So if he was gonna do 30 years, he would come out in his 60s, bro. He's not gonna be battle rapping when he comes out, and people think, you know what I mean? Like, not only do I not think he would have came out battling, battle rap, it's kind of true. Who knows where battle rap is gonna be in 30 years? Because it hasn't even been fucking 30 years, since what we know. Like, what we know as battle rap, like URL, Smack, and all that, it's been around for not even 20 years, guys. And it's kind of hit kind of like a ceiling already. There's kind of been resurgences. I feel like the last big battle rap resurgence was around like when T-Top came, when T-Top, Briz, Ill Will, Big K. Like, there's no new battle rappers that, from what I know, from what I understand. I'm not really big into the battle rap scene anymore, but from what I remember, there's just not that many new battle rappers that I feel like are as captivating, electrifying stylistically, fucking with any of the rappers I just named, battle rappers I just named that are OGs at this point. Maybe I need to look up more battle rap shit, but it kind of got to a stalemate where I was like, and then now I gotta pay for the pay-per-view, and then I'm not gonna do that, so in addition to the mandatory 60-month prison sentence, so he has to do 5 years. It's not like he's gonna do 80%. He's gonna do 5 fucking years, which is 2020. He's gonna come out 2029, bruh. I'm gonna be in my fucking 30s at that point, which is crazy to even think about. The federal penal system does not allow parole. That fucking sucks. So he's gonna do all that time. And he was given 3 years of supervised release and fined 15 grand. So really, he's gonna do 8 years. That fucking sucks, dude. Yeah, man. How I feel about it, Sue Surf, man. He's one of the best battle rappers of all time. Definitely, top 3 performers of all time, battle rappers wise. He's actually just like a really dope rapper. Like, some of his songs are really fucking good. So, Free the Wave, man. Nothing but peace, prayers, and blessings to him and his family. Hopefully he gets out early on good behavior or something like that. Hopefully you don't get into more bullshit. Hopefully this lets Surf know that, bruh, like, I get it, you're an active fucking gang member, but maybe it's time to close that chapter in your life, bro. Like, gang membership, it's corny. We say it again and again. It either puts you in a box or puts you in a cell. So you really be the judge of how you want to live your life. If you want to keep being in and out of prison over like your stripes and all that, then you could be my fucking guest. But in my advice and what I would like to say is I hope this teaches you that maybe you need to step away from some of the negative things allegedly that are going around your name. Take better care of yourself. And I hope that this is a blessing in disguise and you come back better than ever, not just as a battle rapper, but as a person, health wise, spiritually, mentally, physically, everything, bro. I just wish you nothing but the best, Sue Surf. And we're going to see you when they fucking free you, bro. So free the way, free Sue Surf. And best of luck, bro. I really hope this teaches him, or maybe not teaches, but I hope this is like a fucking wake up call. You know what I mean? I don't want any of our brothers and sisters out there locked up in a cage in the system like they designed it. Like the system that's in place is designed to put our brothers and sisters incarceration and in this fucking hamster wheel cycle of fuck shit to where our freedom being taken is money in the pockets of cocksuckers. You know what I mean? Okay. So Daddy Yankee is retiring and he tells fans to follow Jesus Christ at final concert. Latin music superstar and Despacito singer, I didn't even know he was on Despacito, was with the surprise personal conversation and a phrase beloved by Puerto Rican Christians: Christ loves you and Christ is coming. That's cool. I didn't even know. Well, I mean, that makes sense. Christianity is like fucking everywhere. Okay. Trying to read what this shit. Yeah, Gasolina, everyone. He's 46. Damn, I didn't even know he was that fucking old. Jesus Christ. That means, oh, okay, he was in his mid-20s when Gasolina came out. That makes sense. He testified to having an encounter with Jesus as his savior. Okay. My people, this day for me is the most important day of my life, and I want to share with you because to live a life of success is not the same as living with purpose, said Daddy Yankee before a stadium full of delirious fans who had come to applaud their idol. For a long time, I tried to fill a void in my life that no one could fill. I tried to fill and find meaning in my life. Sometimes I appeared to be very happy, but something was missing to make me complete. And I have to confess that those days are over. Someone was able to fill that void that I felt for a long time. I was able to realize that for everyone, I was someone, but I was nothing without him. Before offering his most direct allusion to Christ. Now, anyone who knows me as Daddy Yankee should say Daddy Yankee in Christ. Raymond Ayala in Puerto Rico. A story is over and a new story is going to begin. A new beginning. All the tools that I have in my possession, like music, social networks, platforms, microphone, everything that Jesus gave me, is now for the kingdom. Thank you very much, Puerto Rico, and I hope that you walk with me in this new beginning, and I hope that something very important is recorded in you. Do not follow any man. I am human. All the people who follow me follow Jesus Christ, for he is the way and the truth and the life. As he left the stage, Daddy Yankee declared, Christ loves you and Christ is coming. So he's retiring? See, this is going back to what I was saying, like people being so gun-ho on like religion. I don't think it's bad. I think it's a great thing. Like if that's how he truly felt, like he was missing God in his life and things of that nature, I feel him. Like I think that's dope. You know what I mean? I don't want people thinking I'm trying to knock him for this shit. But at the same time, it's kind of like, in my opinion, why can't you do both? I think I said this before, or I don't know what the fuck. But like, why can't you just be like a spiritual person and an artist? Like, you don't have to talk about whatever bullshit you feel like is bullshit in your music. You could be a Christian reggaeton rapper. Doesn't that sound fire? Like, it ain't got nothing to do with fucking or none of that shit, twerking or drinking or whatever drugs or bullshit. It's just straight up like you giving it a God. Like, But no one's gonna listen to that. I'll tell you that right now. It's just a lot like Christian rap. Like, who the fuck listens to Christian rap? Like, really? Like, nobody. Christian rock's a different thing. It's more acceptable, I feel. If anyone can make Christian reggaeton music, is definitely Daddy Yankee. Hopefully he comes back and gives it a go or something like that. I think that's wild. You know, but who the fuck am I to tell anybody like, yo, that shit's whack or whatever? Like, good for him. If he feels like this is the direction he needs to be going and this is what he needs to do, then I support him. You know what I mean? Gasolina was a hit. Oye Mi Canto was a hit. He has hits out there. There's like, nobody's really checking for Daddy Yankee music. Like, you know, it's the whole wave is taken over by the Peso Plumas, Bad Bunnies, J Balvin and all that. And even they're kind of like bad, like J Balvin, even his shit is kind of like a little like getting there, you know, to where people aren't really checking for his shit as much as they are like Bad Bunny. Like Bad Bunny and Peso Pluma, they have like the game in like a chokehold right now. So good for Daddy Yankee, man. I hope he finds peace and solidarity with whatever journey he needs to embark upon. Like I think God has seen your whole life. Like he already knows. Like God has already seen everything, so there ain't nothing new under the sun that God don't know about you in your life. You know what I mean? Like as Dick Gregory said, you know, you don't think God knows your fucking bills are due? That's a sick ass fucking quote right there. Okay, so from here on out, we're gonna be talking about some heavy shit. So if you don't want to be bogged down by heavy shit, I suggest you skip to the message of the day at the end because it's a good one. P. Diddy and Cassie, his wife, I don't know if they're married. Cassie took him to court and was going to sue his ass over accused rape and repeated physical abuse allegations over about a decade. Now, let me just stop right here. You know how I feel about maniacs. Y'all know how I feel about pedophiles, predators, sexual molesters, and all that. This is how I really feel, and I hope no one takes this out of context. I feel like how I feel is you should get shanked, right? The savage in me, the fucking screws loose mente in me says this fool should get shanked. But the humans, the more compassionate side of me, I'm a fucking human, but the more compassionate side of me is that he should get help. Like, I know that this, like, it's crazy because I think they say, like, the whole fucking molestation and all that shit, it comes from being molested, you know what I mean? That doesn't make the fucking case any better, but yo, look at this shit. This is under New York Times. She says that not long after she met him in 2005, she was 19, he began a pattern of control and abuse that included paying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. That's weird. And Cassie, you should have been gone. Like, if this was happening in 2005, by 2006, you should have been gone writing a book about this shit already. So I don't know what kind of manipulative control or powers he had over her, but that's insane, bro. For almost 20 years, half this girl's life, you do this kind of fuck shit. It makes me want to beat the fuck out of this fool. Like, them charges get you shanked and fucked up in the pinta. And that's where all this anger I have about this shit comes from, because it's like, where I come from, you cannot do none of this maniac shit. Like, this maniac shit literally gets you sliced open, fucked up, and spit on. Well, you could look at my views back with the Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion shit. You could just look up whatever, right? But to be honest, man, I feel like just being like a real mature person about it, I really hope he does get help. And why the fuck can he just pay off? Like, he paid her off, like, whatever, millions. And I hope that's the end of it, because I feel like if you take the money, all you're saying is, okay, well, now I have a price. If this was my sister, if this was my mom, if this was my tia or something, there's no fucking price you could fucking I would ever accept for any of this shit. Any of these allegations, you would literally need to end world hunger type money for me to even consider accepting that kind of fucking bullshit euphemism of approval. Like, if that's gonna smooth shit over, because basically what you're doing is you're throwing money at a situation and saying, can we square this? No, we can't square this. No, that shit is crazy. So because that's what that says to all these other predators is cool. As long as I could fucking have money and be rich and successful, and I don't need to pay for my consequences. I can literally just pay my way out of prison, which is fucking bullshit. How come P. Diddy can fucking get away with some shit like this, but, you know, Lester the molester or whatever has to fucking do 20 years and get shanked? That's not fair. I think P. Diddy should be, you know, have the same sort of fucking things going on with him. I don't wish any negative, you know, I said all this shit. I'm saying all this shit to say I hope he doesn't get stabbed. I hope nothing bad happens. I just wish P. Diddy learns from his fucking mistakes. And these are serious fucking mistakes right here, dog. Like deadly fucking mistakes, if I should add. Crazy. I could never be around maniacs like this. This is why I'm not industry. This is why I stay away from people with egos and aesthetical fucking fake facades around themselves. You know what I mean? I move the way I move because I don't really want to be around these fucking maniacs. You know what I mean? And it's like it's not a good influence on the kids, man. I was watching this fucking kid talk about, you know, nigga this, nigga that. We'll shoot the ops get shot, big Glocks, all this bullshit, which literally reminded me of my nephew. My nephew has to be 13, 14, and he's like, he knows that I rap, so he wants to try it out. And I think that's dope, you know what I mean? If I can inspire my family, I think that's fucking fly. But in the lyrics, he's talking about, I got a big Glock and I'll shoot you, and fucking I got big booty bitches and all that shit. And it's like, bro, you're a fucking kid, bro. You barely hit teenager. Your teenage years are literally the times where you need to make mistakes and not make music. Granted, if you want to make music, make music. Tay Rock, when he was a battle rapper at 16 years old, he was already talking about shooting motherfuckers and shit like that. But I feel like that's more in his reality. These kids out here that are born with iPhones and iPads straight out the womb, you know, they're given a Nintendo Switch as their fucking first birthday present or whatever. Y'all didn't go through shit, bruh. And how I know that is because me growing up, I experienced about 1% of what my dad grew up with. And my dad grew up with 1% of what my uncle, the late Champ Theo Willie, we talked about him. I'm not going to get in depth. If you want to go, we have the Champ. I think that's episode like 48 or something like that. Go and watch that. But literally, the street shit is in my lineage. It's in my history. It's in the family. I have gang family members that are gang members to this day. My cousins, whatever, right? Whatever bullshit they're doing. When I first started making music, I wasn't talking about shooting nobody. I wasn't talking about robbing people. I wasn't talking about stabbing nobody. Granted, I was experiencing some street shit at this point, but I wasn't talking about it. Literally, I was talking about how depressed I was. I wanted to fucking murk myself and all this crazy fucking weird shit that you have those feelings at the time when you're a fucking teenager and you lose like two of your best homies to suicide back to back. Yeah, you're gonna be rapping about that shit. But when you're fucking 14 and you're rapping about having sticks, blicks, and bitches and all this shit, and you ain't even experienced being hungry for a day, you haven't even experienced running from the cops, getting kicked out the crib by your moms and shit like that, bruh, I'm not saying you should do shit because that's not on you. That's not on the kids. That's on the parents. That's on the influences. The video of the kid where he's like rapping about all this dumb shit and his black big, you could tell they're big home, like they're like in their 20s. They're behind him, like all fucking like all dancing and shit to him. I'm like, yo, fuck these fools, dog, because they know it's like the 6ix9ine situation where they're just fucking getting a look off of like this kid, and it's like, fuck you guys, you know what I mean? You think it's cool to fucking have to hang around some kid and not teach him and nurture him? And granted, I don't know the whole situation. They could be behind the scenes trying to support him, but trying to get him on the right path. I'm not trying to judge nobody, but what I'm saying is it looks like from afar that they're condoning this bullshit behavior that kids, in my opinion, they shouldn't be fucking talking about at all, especially if they've never even experienced this shit. First of all, because now they're just regurgitating shit that they think is cool from either NBA Youngboy, Boogie with a Hoodie, Pop Smoke, whoever, right? You know, and the crazy part is they're rapping about drugs and all this fucking dumb shit. That's just like, why, bro? Like, what sense does this make, bruh? It makes no sense to me. Had you asked me 5 years ago, I probably would have just been like, yo, that's the kids. You just let them do them. But now as a man, now as somebody who's actually fucking, like, just trying to be more righteous in a sense that I want to talk about more in my music than just shooting motherfuckers, I think that's crazy. And I think that the parents should be more aware of their kids. Instead of just giving them a phone, you should give them like back in the day, they had ladybug phones or whatever the fuck. You could only call the cops or the house. Something like that, bro. Like you get YouTube, but it's only YouTube Kids or YouTube censorship and all this shit. Because this is real, bro. These kids are going to end up getting in a very, very, very big trouble if it's left unchecked. I didn't even start talking about street shit till I was 19. Granted, I'm a fucking hypocrite. I started talking about shit in my later teenage years. I understand that. I understand that I'm talking shit, even though in my songs you'll hear me say, fuck around and find out, 223 Cali metal jacket hollowed out. I understand that. But guess what? In my situation, that's really what the fuck it is. That's what I stand by and that's what I believe in. These fucking kids that are barely in high school, freshmen or whatever, that all they got to worry about is school. That's not their reality. That's not what, at least I hope that's not that's not their reality. I hope that's not what they're fucking experiencing. Parents, legal guardians, everybody out there, please, 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 anybody out there, teach your kids, get them educated, have them, like, I'm not saying they shouldn't be, like, maybe that's just a way for them to get their fucking rocks off or whatever, but I'm just saying, if they're gonna be listening to this bullshit, horseshit, street shit, it could be my music, at least put them on a knowledge, at least put them on a Wu-Tang, Brand Nubian, whoever, you know, somebody with a Tribe, De La, music with substance. I feel like a lot of the substance is going away and is getting in favored by fucking drugs and dumb shit. You know what I mean? I didn't even know I was going to go off like that, but it was really personal for me because I seen that this kid was doing the same shit. Like, that could have been my nephew doing that. I could have seen my nephew going viral off of that. I'm not mad at the kid going viral. I'm not mad he's making dumb fucking music. I'm mad at the fucking people around him that are co-signing this shit and whoever it is that thinks it's okay for a fucking 14-year-old to be rapping like if they're 25 and they've been in wars and O-Block and all this. It's not cool. It's not fucking cool. All right? I'm probably going to get mad at this next shit I'm about to say. So A Painter's Paradise came out, and Historian, let me calm down. Historian, due to his mental and the people around, this is why I'm saying, guys, you need to have good influences and just teach your kids. He got kicked out by his moms. He's living on the street, and that's why I kind of been MIA, because this shit's literally like, it fucked me up. Historian, he's living on the street. He's asking people for money. He's asked me for money, the homies for money. And I feel like I can't do shit about it. This just takes me back to when my homies, you know, they checked out, they self-checked out or whatever. That's a fucking horrible way to say it. I don't want to say they committed suicide, but I said it already. It just reminded me of when my homies committed suicide, and it brings me back to that. Like, I have no control over that. Like, it's literally out of my hands. I can't do shit about it. But I vehemently let Historian know, you can always talk to me. I'll always be there for you. And I just pray to God that he finds his way and he finds a good home, not a fucking mental ward or some shit like that. Like, I hope somebody helps him and he doesn't end up being like a Skid Row homeless person with mental issues that needs to be taken care of, just doing drugs or whatever the fuck. Cause I already see it happening. He's a young kid. He's younger than me. He has to be like 23, 24 years old, something like that. And for this shit, it literally hurts me. Like, I haven't even like promoted Painter's Paradise or anything like that, because I feel like, how can I fucking promote an album with the homie when he's on the fucking streets? When he literally, like, when the person who's worked with you and you've known for a minute now or whatever, a good homie, you know, doesn't have a negative bone in his body, he's just not with us in our reality. He's in his own reality. So why the fuck should we judge somebody like that? Why the fuck is it okay to just throw people on the side of the fucking street like if they're pieces of garbage or something like that? Why can't we get more people help? You know what I mean? The fucking homeless problem is a real fucking problem that no one gives a fuck about. Everybody just ignores homeless people, but gives attention to all this other fucking bullshit. So I just let him know, you know, like, I hope God blesses you and you find your way to a better place, man, and a better home. Because that's fucking bullshit that I feel like I can't do shit about it. He's like, he's around, you know, LA and shit, and I'm over here in the IE, and I just feel like I can't do shit. Like what can you do, bruh? Like, no matter as much money you can give him, I'm only one person. Like, it needs to be an active amount of people, like a support system for him, man. And it's just not just him. Like, it's just so many people with like mental issues that need a support system that have like been left forgotten about. It hits home for me because both of my grandmas have like either Alzheimer's or dementia. My tia, I don't know what the fuck she has. She has some sort of like autism or something, like, and it's just this mental illness shit. It's just like, it hits home for me. And the fact that I made an album with my homie and I had so much hope just to be like, you know, maybe if he just makes music, he just focuses, you know, maybe he needs a break from music, to like think that that's not even cutting it in 1%. It just hurts. You know what I mean? So, Historian, if you're listening to this, if you're out there, man, I pray to God, you know, you find what you need in this world, and you get everything, all the love you deserve, all the warm food, just everything, man. I just hope you find the shelter, and I just hope you find the friends and the family you need to be living a great life. I had another message for the day. I did. How I was feeling earlier was that there's people who won't like you for whatever reason, and that's okay. Don't worry about them. Be happy. That's a strong message. That's a good message. But I feel like for today, for right now, I feel like we should help each other more. Like all this ego shit, all this whole bravado, all this selfish bullshit, we should just fucking dead that. Because there's people that are going through things every day, whether you know it or not. And I feel like we need to do a better job of helping each other, talking to one another, and just being there for other people. You know, a lot of people are just fucking me. What have you done for fucking me? Why doesn't anyone care about me? Does anyone see me? Fuck that shit, bruh. I feel like everyone should just take care of everybody, and we'd be a lot better off, you know? I just get tired of shit. I just get tired of saying the same fucking message every time, of like just experiencing and just having the like some of the same messages, the same themes. But I guess, you know, I have to, because it's like if you're a first time listener, thank you for coming on. But this is shit that I've already reiterated. But this is something new of where like we got to help each other, and we got to be better at helping our peers grow. Because if we just let each other down, if we let our homies and shit just be fucked up and forgotten about, what does that say about you, bruh? That's crazy. How can you let somebody you've known for years just fucking fall off or whatever? Or like, how could you just let somebody you've known for years just like not give a fuck about them all of a sudden? That's crazy, bruh. You know? It's pretty much the message of the day, man. This is the God's Hour.
Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower, to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wear Prada, the devil like inside your box now, while the angels fly over my headstone.